Live from Pittsburgh, it's the 19th annual Kaufmanns WPXI Celebrate the Season Parade, starring the host of NBC's new show later today, Jody Applegate, internationally known singing sensation Christina Aguilera, one of the stars of NBC's hot new shows, Freaks and Geeks, Sam Levine, America's most famous boxing referee and district court judge, Judge Mills Lane, R&B recording artists INX. All this, plus your favorite balloons and bands, as Pittsburgh celebrates its favorite holiday tradition, the Kaufmanns WPXI Celebrate the Season Parade. This year, as we get ready to ring in a new year, a new century, and a new millennium, join us in a special salute to the century. We'll take you on a magical trip through time, a decade-by-decade journey of memories, music, and dance. It's a spectacular, once-in-a-lifetime celebration you won't soon forget. Now, let's turn back the Kaufmanns clock to the turn of the century in downtown Pittsburgh and watch Fifth Avenue come to life with the music of the day.
rousing wake-up call for Pittsburgh, wasn't it? Good morning. We want to welcome you to the 19th annual Kaufmanns WPXI Celebrate the Season Holiday Parade. I'm Peggy Finnegan.
I'm David Johnson. That's just one of the high-energy routines you'll hear this morning from the Greater Kensington Mummers. They'll be performing today, and that was fantastic, colorful. What a great way to get started. You heard about our Salute to the Century. To kick off our Salute to the Century this morning, let's take a look at what was happening 100 years ago.
Steel was king as the century began, and the term Golden Triangle was first used to describe the business section of the city. 1909 saw the opening of Forbes Field and the Pirates winning the pennant and the World Series. It also created the city's first traffic jam. Double-decker trolley cars prowl the streets of Pittsburgh. Fare was 6 cents. In 1917, Pittsburghers ended up fighting over there in World War I, returning a year later to the cheers of their city.
The beginning of the century was an exciting time for Pittsburgh. Once again, here are the Mummers performing the ever-popular Pennsylvania polka.
Love those Mummers, and we are told they're going to take us to the Mardi Gras later in the show.
The Roaring Twenties definitely brought the country to its feet. Hollywood glamour, flapper girls, men in fedoras were all the rage. Let's salute this glorious decade. It was the Roaring Twenties, and KDKA Radio made history with the nation's first broadcast, hosting such notables as Will Rogers. The summer of '25 was a good time to be at Kennywood's pool. Pitt's 42nd-story Cathedral of Learning was built, along with the Coppers Building and the Liberty Bridge. And the city ended the decade by celebrating Light's Golden Jubilee, honoring Edison's invention of the light bulb, perhaps the city's first official light-up night.
Now there's a lot going on then. Now performing Mac the Knife, Mark Millivatz and the Millennium Bells.
On the sidewalk, Sunday morning, lies a body, just oozing life. Someone sneaking around that corner. Is that someone Mac the Knife? From the tugboat down by the river, don't you know? There's a cement bag just drooping on down. That cement is just for the weight, dear. All 5 will get you 10. Old Mackie's back in town. Oh, to me, he disappeared. Has our boy done something right? Oh, the guitar, ha, 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 Jim Diver. I'm in Salamanca, and Lucy Brown falls on the right face. Now that Mackie's right here, back home here in town. Here we go. Jimmy Diver, ha, 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 ha. Look at tall dream. I'm in Salamanca, and Lucy Brown falls on the right here. Now that Mackie's back in town. Look out, old Mackie, he's back.
He is a great performer.
I love it. Sounds great.
And Mark is hosting a musical benefit this Sunday at Heinz Hall, and you can see some of your favorite WPXI and PCNC personalities in the celebrity choir, so don't miss that.
Singing Channel 11 people. I got to see that. Well, as you're about to see, Pittsburgh was in full swing during the 1930s. Let's go back in time and see what that was like.
The 1930s, the Depression was in full swing, forcing many Pittsburghers out of work and into bread lines. While prices were low, thousands took to the city streets in protest of unemployment. By 1934, more than 70,000 workers returned to their jobs, and the skies once again filled with black smoke. Penn Avenue looked like the canals of Venice during the 1936 flood, and football was as popular as ever at Pitt Stadium, although you can perhaps see why face masks were eventually invented.
And returning us to the decade of swing, here's the River City Youth Chorale.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They've got that swing. Nice performance, guys.
I love their period clothes.
Yes.
Well, the big band sound filled our city's air in the 40s. Let's check that out. (1941) and the nation finds itself plunged into war. While many young Pittsburgh men answered the call, the factories and mills went to work day and night. Women played an increasing role in the workplace. Things were tight at home, but Pittsburgh played a pretty big part in our nation's victory. 1946, and it was time to clean up the smoky skies. This photo was taken at 9:20 in the morning. And while baseball wasn't yet integrated, that didn't deter the Homestead Grays from playing excellent ball.
Okay, folks, put on your dancing shoes because the Civic Light Opera Mini Stars are taking us to the Copacabana.
What a decade. Dressing up, going to supper clubs, and dancing the night away.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Well, Pittsburgh was filled with pink Cadillacs and poodle skirts and leather jackets in the 50s. Let's take a peek at that.
Happy days were ahead for our city in the 1950s. The Korean War raged and Elvis was king. 1952 saw the opening of Greater Pittsburgh International Airport. The following year, Gateway Center opened to give the city a new face. The Alcoa building in Mellon Park quickly followed as the city's first Renaissance was underway. Two new bridges graced the city as the Fort Pitt and Fort Duquesne bridges spanned the rivers. And finally, this decade saw a young baseball player by the name of Roberto Clemente join the team.
Time to get on your feet and join Gargaro Productions' Good Vibrations as they perform Hand Jive from Greece.
We were trying to do that before, and we couldn't quite. Well, you can do it. I can't quite get it anyway. All right, join us. We were trying to, yeah, that's what we were trying to do. The hand jive. We're about halfway through the century now, so join us as we salute the century in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and today.
We'll be right back.
The 1999 Kaufmanns Celebrate the Season Parade is sponsored in part by Kaufmanns. We've got the gifts. By Nickelodeon Nation. Wherever kids are, Nick's there too. By your neighborhood Ford dealer. And by Barney's Musical Castle. The Toddler Tune Fest coming to the Benedum Center in January. When we return, meet the host of NBC's new show later today, Jody Applegate.
Oh. Easy. You don't want the back for you.
NBC star Jody Applegate, plus all your favorite balloons, floats, and bands, as Pittsburgh celebrates its favorite holiday tradition. The Kaufmanns WPXI Celebrate the Season Parade.
To the Kaufmanns WPXI-TV Celebrate the Season Parade. We've already gotten off to a rousing start with our great performances.
Yeah, lots of great music.
Fantastic.
Foot stomping
Hand
music. Yeah,
jives.
hand jives and everything. Let's go down to the parade route and see what's happening there with John Fedko.
Peggy, I'm here with Rick Bennett, the CEO and president of Kaufmanns, our general manager, John Howe. Rick, you have to be bursting with pride to be affiliated with such a spectacular event. Don't forget your daughter here, by the way, also, 9-year-old Ann.
Well, it's a great day for kids, and we're just proud to have this wonderful parade under the Kaufmanns clock.
A huge crowd. This is about as big as I've ever seen it out here. John, of course, this is a labor of love for us. We love being involved with this parade.
We've been involved with Kaufmanns in this parade for many, many years now. It is a labor of love for the people at our television station. A lot of people work year-round on this parade, and we suffered a couple of losses this year that we want to dedicate this parade to Don Whiteley, who has been involved in this parade and helped make it a success for many years, and Wendy Fabianic, who worked for our television station and is loved by many people in our building. All of the people who work at Channel 11 want to dedicate this year's parade to those people and wish everyone out there the merriest of holiday seasons.
All right, back to you, David Becky.
Okay, yes, indeed. We're going to keep Don and Wendy in our thoughts throughout this parade as we see all the people gathered here. As we say every year, Peggy, Pittsburgh loves a parade, and this year no exception. Despite our chilly weather, I don't know what the temperature is.
And
it's
we
chilly.
Love the parade, and we've been doing it already 10 years.
Isn't that
That's
amazing?
Hard to believe.
It is something else. That is truly a hard 10 years.
10 years already.
And I'm going to snuggle up next to you a couple times because we're happily married, but to other people, but it's a little chilly. From our view here at parade headquarters, we can see the Allegheny County Police Mounted Patrol ready to lead the parade down the street. They're always first up. They'll pass by more than 150,000 people, maybe more. Hard to really estimate the crowd, who have lined the downtown Pittsburgh streets to watch today's parade.
That's right, and all of the units in today's parade travel down 5th Avenue past Kaufmanns, and they complete the parade journey at the Boulevard of the Allies. Following behind the Mounted Police Patrol are two U.S. Marine Corps Humvees. There you see the Marine waving to us. Every year since 1947, the Marine Corps has helped brighten the holidays of children in need through the Toys for Tots program.
Those are some big, big vehicles. If you've ever seen one up close or been in one, they are so wide. I don't know how they navigate Pittsburgh streets. They have to be blocked off like today, I guess. But nice to have them here leading the way. And it looks like Santa's dependable reindeer have done a fabulous job getting Old St. Nick on time. They're even here a little early.
There's the big banner, Celebrate the Season, and so we are. And there are the reindeer, Santa's reindeer, helping to kick off our parade. They entertain parade spectators in front of Kaufmanns, and then they're going to fly Santa, of course, back to his workshop so he and the elves could finish making toys for boys and girls all over this world. They're just taking a break right now for our parade.
Absolutely. They got a lot of work to do. About a month left. Those are big reindeer, by the way.
Sure are. Bringing us the sounds of the season, the Butler High School Golden Tornado Marching Band with 360 members. Our first band in today's lineup is one of the largest high school marching bands in the nation.
Of course, from Butler, Pennsylvania, this award-winning band has performed in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, Kentucky Derby Parade, and is getting ready to perform in the upcoming Tournament of Roses Parade in Pasadena. Let's listen. I've seen some big bands in our day here doing this parade for 10 years. That may be the biggest ever. 360 members, the Golden Tornadoes from Butler, PA.
You know, they were the first high school in the nation to ever charter a 747 to travel to the Tournament of Roses parade.
I believe it. They need the room.
Here's another Celebrate the Season parade unit headed to the Tournament of Roses parade. Pulled by 8 black Percheron horses, the Heinz hitch is a fiery red replica of the grocery carts really once used by the H.J. Heinz Company at the turn of the century. Brian Craig and Jim Best are driving the hitch in today's parade. Have fun in Pasadena. Beautiful dogs. Dalmatians.
Love those Dalmatians. They're warm in their sweaters on this rather chilly morning here in Pittsburgh. And that beautiful hitch. Always a great sight. Makes you getting that holiday spirit, doesn't it, with all those beautiful colors.
These horses are just beautiful animals. Four of today's outstanding marching bands are division champions from the prestigious Tournament of Roses, or Tournament of Bands, excuse me, competition. And joining us for the first time is the Tournament of Bands All-Star Band. Before being selected to participate in today's Kaufmanns WPXI Celebrate the Season parade, each of these bands competed in numerous regional bands, against numerous regional bands in the Tournament of Bands competition. So let's learn how these great bands were selected to perform in today's parade.
Joining our 19th annual Celebrate the Seasons parade are the 4 winners of this year's annual Tournament of Bands competition. Held on November 6th at Trinity Area High School, over 20 marching bands from around the region went head-to-head for over 8 grueling hours in this traditional regional event. Every musical note and marching step were critically examined as the judges graded the detail and overall presentation that defined a true championship marching band. We're proud to present to you today all 4 champion bands, along with the Tournament of Bands All-Star Band. So sit back and enjoy as these young champions fill the streets of Pittsburgh with their colorful sights and winning sound.
And our first Tournament of Bands winner is the Elizabeth Forward High School Marching Warrior Band. Joining us from Elizabeth, Pennsylvania, of course, this group of 90 performers earned the Group 1 Honor Band title in this year's competition.
Depicts a lovely scene from the familiar holiday classic, The Nutcracker, sponsored by Kaufmanns Department Store. This winter wonderland is the perfect setting for the Snow King and Queen as they travel down the parade route.
Kaufmanns is also sponsoring this year's performance of George Balanchine's The Nutcracker. That performance will be held at the Benedum December 3rd through the 28th. Ah, yes. Sounds tickets. Call 456-2670. Again, 456-2670. I should know that title. Is it March of the Toy Soldiers, Sugar Pumpkin?
I should know too, and I don't.
I think
I certainly recognize it. Beautiful.
It's familiar, I just don't know the title. And, ladies and gentlemen, right there, flying high in the sky is Theodore, the Toy Soldier. It must be the Toy Soldier song. It's got to be. Or else he wouldn't be there. Sponsored by Kaufmanns Department Store, this adorable inflatable balloon is here to watch over all of the little boys and girls playing with their holiday toys.
34 balloon handlers will guide this giant balloon through the downtown Pittsburgh streets. That's great.
And big. Real big. I think he can look in about a 6th floor window if he wanted to. Check out some sales at Kaufmanns while he's going by the department store here.
I don't think they have anything in his size.
Oh, it's always great to see these huge balloons coming through, and it's not easy for the handlers because they do have to deal with wires at the intersections. Good job. You know, this year's Celebrate the Season Grand Marshal is a familiar face to Channel 11 viewers, seen every morning at 9 on WPXI. Jody Applegate is the host of the new NBC Morning Show later today.
Yeah, and she is no stranger in the tri-state area. She grew up in the Pittsburgh area, went to Moon Schools. WPXI's Jodine Costanzo is live on the street to welcome Jody back to the area. Jodine.
That's right, Jody Applegate. You see her every morning on Later Today. She grew up in the Pittsburgh area, went to Moon Area High School. Congratulations on your job. That is terrific.
Oh, well, thank you so much, and thank you for playing the Later Today theme song. I mean, I don't normally hear that when I go to places, but it's terrific to be here. We got a beautiful day, a great turnout, and I'm just so happy I could participate. I'm sorry I broke
the limousine broke. Jody, it must be fabulous being able to come back to your hometown.
It is. You know, I haven't lived here for several years. I left when I was, right after I graduated from high school, and I've lived all over the country in New York and Philadelphia and Washington and San Francisco and Phoenix and basically I can't keep a job. Can't keep a job. I'm a very unstable individual. But, as you get older especially, you really appreciate your roots and where you came from and stuff like that. So it's a real treat to be back here. I'm very happy.
Now, growing up in Moon Township, going into broadcasting, was that something you always wanted to do? Did you ever think you'd get as far as you have?
No, I watched a ton of TV as a kid, and I always thought that would be fun to do, but I had no idea how you could get from point A to point B. And it's been a long, strange trip. I told you about all the goofy career moves I've had to make, but I suppose it was worthwhile looking back on it all. It's hard work, but it's fun, and hey, we all get to do our share of parades over the years.
Yes, we do. They're lots of fun.
I've done plenty of parades, but this is really the best of all to be back here, so it's a real pleasure, and I hope everyone has a wonderful and safe and healthy holiday.
Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations, and thanks for coming back to Pittsburgh. Great having you here. And we'll hang on to the rest of your limousine. Okay, thank you. David and Peggy.
Okay, Jody and Jodine. I love Jody and Jodine. Great combination. Jody doesn't know her own strength. She slams the door shut and takes it apart. Well, nice to have her here. Now, traveling down the parade route are 9 replicas of downtown Pittsburgh's most beloved architectural landmarks. Created by Pittsburgh artist Cheryl Capizzuti, these giant puppets were created for the first night celebration.
Held in downtown Pittsburgh on New Year's Eve, first night will be featuring more than 50 different performance venues, and thousands of visual and performing artists will be participating. The whole city, Dave, is going to become a stage. And when the clock strikes 12, an incredible fireworks spectacular will be lighting up the sky. WPXI is proud to sponsor First Night. Make your millennium plans now. You can log on to realpittsburgh.com. And, of course, you can watch it on television. Turn to PCNC from 11:30 to 12:30 for coverage of the celebration with John Fedko and John McIntyre.
Can you identify the buildings on the top of their heads? I see Mellon Bank Center, Fifth Avenue Place. I'm sure PPG's got to be in there somewhere. It's hard to keep your head straight with a skyscraper on top of it. Good job, puppets. Check out the energy our next group brings to the parade. The Men with a Vision Dance Troupe, a hip-hop dance ensemble choreographed with rifles and flags. Under the direction of Henry Soul Jr., the group will travel across the country to compete internationally. Good luck.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list and checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh yeah, Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you are awake. He
Pittsburgh's own Avonworth High School Marching Band has been named Group 2 champion in this year's Tournament of Bands competition. Under the direction of Walter Street, the 63 members of this impressive band have won several local and national awards, and both the guard and percussion units of this band have earned championship status in 1999.
Avonworth, thank you very much. Great sound. Now here come the Santa Paws. The Going Home Greyhound organization is spreading some holiday cheer to man's best friend. This Wexford-based volunteer group has been rescuing former racing greyhounds for the past 4 years. They help find homes for the dogs and also travel the area, educating the public about these great pets. Nice to see those guys here. Sleek animals.
Notice, Dave, that there was one dog in there that was missing a leg.
I didn't see that. Wow. And he's still walking the parade route. Good for him. Santa Paws. All right, we'd like to thank the Pittsburgh Marriott City Center for providing accommodations for our celebrities and our parade staff.
Stay tuned to the 1999 Kaufmanns WPXI Celebrate the Season Parade. When we return, our entertaining salute to the century will continue.
When we return, more of our special salute to the century. We'll take you on a trip back to the 1960s with the popular Pittsburgh oldies group, Johnny Angel and the Halos. All this, plus more of your favorite bands, clowns, and costume characters. Stay with us for more of the Kaufmanns WPXI Celebrate the Season Parade.
Welcome back to our team coverage of the WPXI Kaufmanns WPXI Celebrate the Season Holiday Parade. I'm David Johnson, along with my good friend, and I truly mean that, and my co-worker of 10 years. And it's cold, so I'm going to get close to you. Peggy Finnegan, nice to have you here.
And we thank you for joining us today for our exciting salute to the century. Can you believe it's almost over, the century? Our journey now continues with a look at the 60s. The swinging 60s, and a chap named James Bond was fighting the Cold War against arch-villains. The Pirates won the 60 World Series with the legendary ninth-inning home run of Bucco's second baseman Bill Mazeroski. Trouble brewed in the small Southeast Asian country of Vietnam. The first man walked on the moon, and the Fab Four mounted a British invasion of the civic arena. A beloved president was assassinated, and a little-known coach was hired by the hapless Pittsburgh Steelers. The decade ended on a high note as love, peace, and rock and roll ruled in upstate New York.
And our tribute to the 60s continues to rock and roll the sounds on the WPXI float. It's been a record year for Channel 11, NBC, and PCNC. Joining us now, the news crew from Channel 11, as well as Johnny Angel and the Halos. But first, let's introduce the folks on the float there. Katina Forte behind the halos. Keith Jones, Julie Bologna, Bob Bruce, Newland Archinall. They're behind. There they are. There they are.
So is John McIntyre, host of PCNC's Night Talk Show. Also aboard the colorful hit record float, as you saw earlier, Johnny Angel and the Halos, performing the 60s hit Higher and Higher.
And I'll be at your side forevermore. Now once I was downhearted, disappointment was my closest friend. But then you came and he soon departed, and he never ever showed his face again. You know your love keeps lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up, where's my desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore. Now I'm so glad that I finally found you. Say you're my one in a million, girl. And I wish my loving arms around you, so I can stand up and face the world. You know your love keeps lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up, where's my desire, and I'll be at your side.
Our colleagues are having a good time.
They are.
I'm up here with all the WPXI personalities. We got the whole morning team up here. Newland Archinall, Bob Bruce, Julie Bologna, Katina Forte. Keith's up here for the weekend. You got to love it, Keith. I know you're fairly new to the town, but how about this crowd?
This is great. I haven't seen a crowd like this in a long time, especially at a local parade. This is great.
Now, Julia, it was only a few years ago you were going to Center High School. Now you're rolling down the streets in a parade. This has to be so exciting for you.
It's very exciting. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. They're all watching. Everyone's watching.
And we love Center. They win the Spirit Award every year. And here's, of course, the Crack Morning team. You guys are having a blast out here this morning, aren't you?
Oh, this is a wonderful crowd. This is probably one of the best crowds we've ever seen.
Johnny, come on, do the twist. Come on. With Katina and Johnny McIntyre. What's your holiday wish? I just stepped on your toe, Newland.
Don't forget, man, me and you on the Roberto Clemente Bridge, New Year's Eve, live on PCN.
11:30 PCNC. And we don't forget Katina Forte. What a great crowd it's been out here.
Oh, it's been a great crowd. Talk about traffic. I'm sure things are a little backed up. We have a big crowd out here, but come on down. Roads are still clear.
Great report. All right, back to you, David Peggy.
Okay, guys,
Thanks,
great
guys.
to see you. Now everyone along the parade route knows we have the tallest morning anchor team in America. They have seen Newland. They know she's tall, and Bob is tall.
And they know they can keep a beat. They can dance.
Absolutely. And everybody is loving the parade from little to big. Boy, did that work out perfectly. Hopefully our next century won't have any battles to fight during today's parade, but joining us now is Optimus Primal, the star of the Beast Wars series show weekdays and Saturdays on WPGH Fox 53. As commander of the Maximals, an infamous team of cybernetic robot animals, Optimus Primal leads the fight against the evil Megatron. We send happy holiday wishes to you and your friends on your home planet of Cybertron.
I'm scared.
I know, but with him around, we will be protected.
Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
He is a good guy to protect the many thousands of Pittsburghers who have lined the parade route this morning, who look kind of concerned.
The Sounds of Angels, performed by the Pine Richland High School Marching Band, are currently filling the air in downtown Pittsburgh. This 200-member strong band from Gibsonia has won numerous awards for performances, both locally and nationally. Here's something you don't see every day. The band features an all-female dancing tuba line.
love the guy with the dreidel on his head. Special touch there. It is Celebrate the Season, all seasons here on WPXI. Thanks very much, guys. Great, great sound. We really appreciate it. Now it's time to bring in the clowns. And I'm not just talking about politicians. Here come one of my favorite annual Celebrate the Season performers, the Three Rivers Clowns. Although these guys will be clowning around at the parade and other events around the city, they volunteer their time and donate their money to various charities and needy individuals.
And you ride the road to romance.
A butcher or a baker, ladies never embrace.
A barber for a ball would be a social disgrace.
They always come to call if you can fall on your face.
Be a clown, be a clown, be a clown. Be a clown, be a clown. All the world loves a clown.
Be a crazy buffoon.
And the demoiselles will all swoon.
Be a crack jackanapes. And they'll imitate.
And now waving to the thousands of spectators lining the parade route, some other clowns of sorts, I guess. John, Dave, Bubba, and Shelley from the B94 Morning Show, playing today's hit music for more than 18 years. B94 is happy to celebrate the season with us today.
And we've been on the air with them, in fact, a couple of times, and we've had a great time with them. They do clown around, as they're doing right now.
Hi, guys.
But they love it. And making their first appearance in the Kaufmanns WPXI Celebrate the Season Parade is the Freedom High School Marching Band, under the direction of Keith Kovalik. The 100-member strong band is playing a collection of holiday tunes today. Nice to have you with us. Freedom. Let's take a listen to them. Look at that. A huge gift coming down the parade route there, and some smaller gifts, too. I wonder if that's what you asked for Christmas, Peggy.
I want something really big.
You want something big, and it's about to come into view right there. It is big.
Yeah,
it's a giant inflatable gift representing the Presents for Patients program, sponsored by St. Barnabas and WPXI.
And Joe Dean is on the scene to tell us more.
That's right. That is a big, beautiful present, I should say. With me now is Valerie Day Wilden from St. Barnabas talking about the Presents for Patients program. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you, and thanks to WPXI and Peggy and Dave for all that you do. Presents for Patients is underway this year, and we are looking forward to raising more than 17,000 gifts this year.
How is it going so far? A lot of people getting involved?
A lot of people called the phone banks this year at WPXI, and we had the Subway restaurants making posters available for sign-ups, and Girl Scouts being very involved. It's a big group effort. It's wonderful.
But it's not too late to get involved. What do people need to do if they want to donate, if they want to get involved?
Call the headquarters at 724-443-0011.
Okay, you heard her. Get involved. David and Peggy?
Okay, Jodine and Valerie, thank you very much. Peggy and I can both tell you we've been doing this for 10 years now. It is a wonderful, wonderful program. It just makes so many people light up during the holidays. Folks who would ordinarily not get any gifts or any visits.
A lot of people forget the holidays can be pretty darn lonely.
They can.
If you're in a nursing home somewhere.
So remember the number 443-0011 and get involved in Presents for Patients. It is so worthwhile. It'll make you feel so very good.
Well, our parade is a lot of fun today, and our coverage will continue. We'll be right back.
Still to come, she's soaring to superstardom on pop charts all over the world. She's singing sensation Christina Aguilera.
I'm a genie in a bottle, baby. Gotta rub me the right way, honey. I'm a genie in
But next, a salute to the 70s. You remember the Blues Brothers? Well, get ready to meet the Pittsburgh version of the Blues Brothers and their dancing car. All this and more when the Kaufmanns WPXI-TV Celebrate the Season Parade returns.
Welcome back to the Kaufmanns WPXI Celebrate the Season Parade. I'm Peggy Finnegan, joined by my good friend and colleague, David Johnson.
Still hard to believe it's been 10 years, but it's been 10 wonderful years of doing this with you, Peggy. The parade keeps getting better and better every year, and so do you, by the way.
Thank you.
If I may just add
so
that.
do you.
Well, thanks so much. You know, our salute to the century continues. We're going to take a trip down memory lane and a look at the 70s. Let's take a look.
It was the 70s, complete with big hair and disco dancing. The U.S. Steel Building dramatically changed downtown as it scraped the sky, and a brand new stadium opened for business. A president resigned in disgrace, but the country went on to celebrate the spirit of '76. Late-night comedy saw a cast of memorable players make waves. The Pirates used family values to win another World Series, while the Steelers won a record 4 Super Bowls to become the team of the decade, making Pittsburgh the city of champions.
Mini stars are back with Shane. Brings back
Thank
some
you.
memories.
It sure does.
When I was very young.
I was not that young, but I danced to that song.
Yeah, I did
Not
too.
well, but I danced to it. It would be a shame if you never took a ride on that vehicle right there. That is the Just Ducky Tours boat. That thing is a replica of, no, it's an actual World War II amphibious vehicle. And if you've never taken one of these tours, I should say, Peggy, it is great. It's a lot of fun.
It's a 1-hour land and water tour of Pittsburgh, and it departs from Station Square. It's a great thing for your out-of-town guests. These are the Gargaro Productions Good Vibrations troupe again. I saw them earlier.
Tell you what, it's a blast when the thing is on land and you're over near Three River Stadium and it goes into the water when you take that plunge. Encouraging world peace has always been a goal of Rotary International, and the next float, sponsored by our local Rotarians, depicts a peaceful holiday scene. dressed in native costumes and some warm garb as well, and carrying international flags. Children from the Rotary Youth Exchange Program were riding on that float. And Peggy, trees on the float were decorated with peace symbols made by Rotary High School exchange students.
Straight from the pages of the children's classic comes everyone's favorite little French girl, Madeline. We hope Madeline enjoys her trip to Pittsburgh and that she has a wonderful
You believe you must be fit in order to be tough. Then you should get to know me. I'll teach you other stuff. I'm Madeline, I may be very small. I'm Madeline, but inside I'm tall. She may be teeny tiny.
And the smallest one was Madeline. Oh, and a tip of the hat. Nice to have you with us, Madeline. From the Children's Classics. And now you've seen them several times here on Channel 11 with the wild and crazy John Fedko. Here they are again, the Blues Brothers, and their dancing car.
Did you fix that cigarette lighter like I told you to? Yeah, I think so, Jake. I think so.
A dancing car, isn't it? Speaking of dancing moves, Fedko had some pretty good moves at the start of that song.
Fancy footwork from our John Fedko, huh?
Yeah.
Well, before we break for commercial, we want to thank Spotlight Costumes for providing some of the unforgettable costumes that we've seen today.
And we also want to thank the David L. Lawrence Convention Center for taking care of our antique vehicles today. Does that count as one right there? I don't know. Don't go away. The Kaufmanns WPXI Celebrate the Season Parade will be right back.
Don't go away. When we return, a special salute to the 1980s. And get ready to meet one of the stars of the new NBC show Freaks and Geeks, Sam Levine.
Go. If I held you any closer, I'd be in back of you.
All this and more when the Kaufmanns WPXI Celebrate the Season Parade returns.